Okay, this is the third lesson in the unit on constructions. There's 3 pages in this lesson, so I have a 1 out of 3 in the top corner. This will be the first page out of 3. And in the top left corner, I have C-L03. That's Constructions-Lesson 03. Then I put my heading. Okay. Make sure that the date that you're putting is the date that you're actually doing this lesson. It should be the 24th, but in case it's different, make sure you put today's date. And here's our essential question for this lesson. How do we bisect a segment using constructions? How do we bisect a segment using constructions? Okay, this is our third construction that we'll be doing. So the homework assignment is C-HW03. It's to complete a handout. Okay. And of course you can see YouTube video C-L03 if you need any help on solving that problem. All right. So the warm-up will be to solve the following problem. And this will be a review of the last lesson, which was on copying an angle. So the problem is make a copy of angle JKL. Okay. Now, let me show you how you need to draw JKL, because this is given to you. So, from this line here, you're counting down 2 lines, and you're measuring in 4 inches from the left margin. Okay? Then you're counting down 3 lines from that point, lining your ruler up again with the 0 on the left margin, and you're making a dot 2 inches in and 4 inches in. Once you make those dots, you can label them J, K, and L and draw your arrows, your rays, okay, connecting those dots. Go about 1 inch past each dot. All right? And you'll use the space provided below. Actually, this reference, in this problem, the reference line was given to you. Okay? So you want to count down from this line 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 lines. And I'm not sure if you can see it that well, but there's a pencil line drawn in from the left margin to the right margin. That's that reference line. Because remember, sometimes they'll give you the reference line, sometimes you'll do it yourself. In this problem, your reference line is given. So from this margin to this margin, you're going to use a pencil and draw in that reference line. Okay? So this is where you'll be doing your construction, right on that reference line. Once you're done with that, I want you to go down 1, 2, 3, 4 lines right to here. There's one vocabulary word I'd like to review before we go into the lesson, and that's bisect. Since the essential question is how do we bisect a segment using constructions, I want to make sure that we know what to bisect means. Okay? So bisect is to cut into 2 congruent pieces, or to cut it into 2 equal pieces. All right, which it means the same thing. Congruent is equal, essentially. Okay? So once you have that finished, turn it over, and we'll get into the new construction. So in the center of the top line, put in construction 03, bisect a line segment. This is the third construction, and it's called bisect a line segment. So in the problem, you'll be given a line segment, all right, and you'll have to bisect it. So our task will be to bisect the given line segment using constructions. Okay? So let's go through the directions. All right. Number 1. Place your compass point on the left end point of the given line segment and open your compass until the pencil is approximately 3/4 of the way to the right end point. Okay? Number 2. Without changing the compass, make an arc that crosses the given segment and goes directly above and directly below the left end point of the given segment. Okay? Number 3. Without changing the compass, place the compass point on the right endpoint of the given segment and make an arc that crosses the given segment and goes directly above and directly below the right endpoint of the given segment. And the final step, number 4, draw a segment from the point where the tops of the arcs intersect to the point where the bottoms of the arcs intersect. And the result will be that you have bisected the given segment. Okay? So once you're done copying those directions, take out a new sheet. Okay? You can put the 2 out of 3 in the top corner because this is the second page. And you could put C-L03 in the top left corner. Constructions lesson 03. Put your heading. Okay? And this is example 1. And the example 1 is to bisect line segment AB. Okay? Now remember, we're given a line segment, so we have to draw in the given line segment. So I want you to move down until you're at the second hole on the left side here. Okay? And then you can line your ruler up on that line that goes through that second hole. Line your, whoops, we want the inches side. So line the 0 up with the left margin and make a dot 2 inches in and 4 inches in. And then connect those 2 dots with a line. And label the left endpoint A and the right endpoint B. Okay? This is the given line segment AB. So our task is to bisect line segment AB. Okay? Using constructions. So let's follow the directions and see how we're going to do this. The first thing says, place your compass point on the left end point of the given line segment and open your compass until the pencil is approximately 3/4 of the way to the right end point. So I'm taking my compass, okay, and I'm placing the compass point on the left end point, and I want to open my compass until the pencil is about 3/4 of the way to the right end point. Alright, so it's an approximation. It doesn't have to be exact, but 3/4 of the way is halfway between halfway and the end. So if this is the midpoint about, okay, you want to be about halfway from the midpoint to the end point. This is halfway, this is 3/4. Okay? So let's see what it says to do now. Without changing the compass, make an arc that crosses the given segment and goes directly above and directly below the left end point of the given segment. Okay, so I want to make an arc that crosses the given segment and goes directly above and directly below the left end point. Just like that. Okay? You see how the arc went directly above and directly below the left end point? And it crossed the segment. So I'm just going to leave that. Not going to change the compass at all. Let's go back. That was step 2. Step 3, without changing the compass, place the compass point now on the right end point of the given segment and make an arc that crosses the given segment and goes directly above and directly below the right end point of the given segment. So essentially we're doing the same thing, but instead of putting the point on the left end point, we're turning this around and putting the point on the right end point. Okay, so I haven't changed anything. I'm just putting my point here, and I'm going to draw an arc that crosses the segment and goes directly above and directly below the right end point. Directly above and directly below the right end point. Okay? And let's look at the last step. Draw a segment from the point where the tops of the arcs intersect. That's right here. Now I'm going to draw this point in pen because I'm I'm completing my construction now. So from the point where the tops of the arcs intersect to the point where the bottoms of the arcs intersect. And here's where the bottoms intersect. So I'm drawing a line from that point to this point. And I'm going to do this line in pen because now this is the final part of the construction here. So I want to make it stand out. Okay? These arcs were just our construction lines. Now this is the final line. This is the bisecting line. Okay? And that is how you bisect a line segment. Alright? So turn the page over and let's do checkpoint problem 1, which is the bisect line segment CD. Okay? Now move the page down and we have to draw line segment CD. So again, line it up with the circle. I'm on the line with the circle. Line the 0 up on the left margin and go in 1.5 inches and make a dot, and then go in 4.5 inches and make a dot, and then connect those two dots with a line and put your left endpoint as C and your right endpoint as D. And that is the given line segment that you have to bisect. Okay? So once you're done bisecting that line segment, you can take out a new sheet. Okay? And again, put C-L03 in the top left corner. This is construction 3. And this is the 3 out of 3. This is the third and final page. Put your heading. Okay? Now I want to go through the justification. Alright? So I want you to, we're going to bisect line segment AB. Alright? So let's draw segment AB. Move the page down because I want to go through this at the same time as we do this. Okay? This bottom left circle, I want you to go up 1, 2, 3, 4 lines from the bottom left circle. Line up your 0 on the left margin and go in 2 inches and make a dot, and go in 4 inches and make a dot. Now, it says first bisect segment AB, so I'm going to go ahead and bisect segment AB because that's what it says to do. Now I'm going 3/4 of the way. That's about 3/4. I'm going from directly above to directly below. Same thing, or from directly below to directly above. It doesn't matter. So same thing, directly below or above to the other side. Put a point here. Put a point here, and connect those 2 points with a line. So now I have a line segment bisecting AB. So let's look. I just did that. Bisect segment AB, and label the point where the segment is bisected as C. So let's label this point is where the segment is bisected as C. Label the intersection of the tops of the arcs as D and the intersection of the bottoms of the arcs as E. So this point up here is D, okay, and this point down here is E. All right? Draw segments AD, AE, BD, and BE. Okay? So AD is right here. Now you can do this in pen. AE goes down this way. Then BD is like this. And then BE goes like this. Okay. All 4 of these segments are the same length because they are radii of 2 congruent circles. Alright? So this arc, right, if we were to continue that arc, instead of stopping right at above and below, what you would see is we would have a circle here, right? We would have a circle here. And also, if I continued the arc on B, I would have a circle here as well. Okay? Now I want you to just focus on this left circle. This is the center of the circle, and any line that goes from the center to the edge of the circle, either AD or AE, is a radius of this circle. Similarly, for this circle on the right, B is the center, okay, and BD is a radius, as well as BE is a radius, because it goes from the center to the edge of the circle. That is a radius of a circle. Now, since these two circles that we drew are congruent, okay, they're the same size, because we used the same width on the compass to draw them, we know that the radii, or the radiuses, that's the radii is plural for radiuses, are all the same. So we know that AD, I'm going to put a 1 hash mark in AD, is congruent to AE, so that gets 1 hash mark, is also congruent to BD, which is also congruent to BE. So since all 4 of these segments are congruent, I'm putting 1 hash mark in each segment, and that means, hey, these 4 things are the same length. Okay, that's how we denote it, by putting a hash mark there. Now, the locus of points, that means the set of points. Okay, locus is another word for set. So the set of points equidistant from 2 points is the perpendicular bisector of the line segment determined by the 2 points. Okay? So the set of points that are equidistant from these 2 points AB. Alright? Now equidistant means the same distance. Now we already know that point C is the same distance, and we know that point D is the same distance, okay, because these lengths are the same. We know that these lengths, AC and BC, are the same, so let's put 2 hash marks here and 2 here, because C is the midpoint. Alright, we bisected AB, that means we cut it into 2 equal parts, so that means AC and BC are the same. So we know that D is equidistant from these 2 points, we know that C is equidistant from these 2 points, and we know that E is equidistant from these 2 points. Now, what that also means is that every single point on this line segment is equidistant from these 2 points. Alright? Because if you remember, a line segment is really just a set of points. If I kept making dots here, if there was no line segment here and I just kept making dots and dots and dots and dots, eventually it would form a line segment. That's what a line segment is. It's a set of points. So, by this theorem, the locus of points equidistant from 2 points is the perpendicular bisector. So that means that this line is the perpendicular bisector of the line segment determined by the 2 points. This line segment AB is determined by these 2 points AB. So that means that this DE is the perpendicular bisector of AB. So not only is it the bisector, not only does it cut AB in half, okay, but it's also at a 90-degree angle to AB. Alright? So not only is this construction to bisect a line segment, it's also creating a perpendicular bisector of a line segment. That means that the segment that's cutting this other one in half, they're at 90-degree angles, right? They're at right angles. Okay? So that is the justification for this construction. Alright, so once you're finished with that, you are finished with the lesson. Don't forget, if you didn't finish the lesson, you can finish it for homework, and also to complete the handout for homework, and I will check that tomorrow. So, best of luck.